There's always been a big debate about whether Luffy actually used Future Sight during Marineford, in the scene where he tries to hit Mihawk with the Gum Gum Jet bazooka, only to suddenly see a vision of his arms getting cut off. Some fans say it was just regular observation haki, others say it was instinct or common sense. But honestly, I think it was Future Sight, and here's why. First, look at what Luffy actually experiences in that moment. He doesn't just sense danger, he sees a clear image of what will happen if he continues, his arms sliced clean off by Mihawk's blade. People argue that this is just instinct because, yeah, Mihawk is a swordsman and obviously he's going to cut his arms off if he stretches towards him. But instinct alone doesn't give you a literal mental image of the future. And Luffy's reaction isn't casual either. He's visibly shaken, almost horrified. That's not a normal observation haki warning. That's how people panic when they see a terrible future. We also need to remember that Luffy tried this exact attack once before during the Baratie arc. He stretched his arms straight toward Mihawk right after Zoro was defeated. But Mihawk wasn't fighting Luffy back then. He wasn't trying to kill him. He had just finished fighting Zoro, and he wasn't in that mindset after deciding he had enough fun for the day. Marineford is completely different. Mihawk is actively pursuing Luffy, and he's determined to stop him or test him like he says. So when Luffy stretches his arms out again, he wasn't going to let that go unpunished because Luffy should know better and not be that reckless against the world's strongest swordsman. This time, Luffy feels Mihawk's intent, sees the future outcome, and instantly redirects his attack into the ground instead. Now compare this scene with what happened during Eustace Kid's and Shanks' interaction. I'm not going to call it a fight, just an interaction. Shanks used Future Sight. Shanks didn't just sense danger, he literally saw the future of his fleet dying and was visibly shaken by it. That's exactly what Luffy looked like. It wasn't a maybe this could happen vision. It was a this will happen if I don't change something right now vision. That's the whole point of Future Sight. And when you understand how Oda draws haki differences, it becomes even clearer. Regular observation haki in the manga feels like an alert, a warning, or a sense that something is off. It's vague. Future Sight is always portrayed as an actual vision of events a few seconds ahead, almost like a flash forward. The user sees what's going to happen, and depending on how fast they react, they can change the outcome. That's exactly what Luffy does. He sees the future, panics, and changes his attack to avoid losing his arms. Plus, it fits the pattern of haki awakenings in the series. Everybody awakens observation haki differently. Kobe hears the voices of people on the battlefield even though he can't control it. Usopp suddenly sees life energy as shapes, the same way Fujitora perceives people without using eyes. So it makes perfect sense that Luffy's own early awakening might appear as a sudden moment of seeing a few seconds into the future, even if he didn't know what Future Sight was at the time. So in my opinion, yes, Luffy absolutely used an early form of Future Sight at Marineford. It wasn't just instinct, and it wasn't just basic haki. The vision, his reaction, and the immediate change in his attack all line up with how Future Sight is shown later in the story. What do you think? Was it Future Sight or just fighter's instincts? Drop your thoughts below.